Good morning, I'm Andy Downs. Right, where do we begin? So I'm putting this video together today to talk about art and my mental health. If you know me, you know that I'm a guy who's generally very, very chipper. I put on a lot of events and I put on a lot of shows and things like that make me mingle with the community. I've got a kind of a bit of a stage face. This is not all down, this video, it's just a mix. What I found basically is if I commit things to video, it's kind of been like a bit of a therapy to me. So nobody sees the videos, they just roll along. I can talk to the camera and then they usually delete most of them, to be honest. But it's good for my soul and good for my heart. So I have a muggle job. I'm a bathroom fitter by trade, a plumber, and I've been doing that for about 17 years ago now. I started art roughly 10 years ago when my marriage dissolved, and then art was a kind of a meditation for me, really. I could be there with my thoughts and lose myself for hours, etc., etc. Sounds quite sad in a way, doesn't it? But I'm not sad. I'm not an overly sad person. I'll probably contradict myself in this video, to be honest with you, because I think that's just how I roll, to be honest. Anyway, waffling. So, art for me in the 10 years that I've got back into it has been my salvation, my saviour. I realised that I absolutely love painting. I'm self-taught, not that it's got anything to do with anything, but it's never come easy to me. I've always had an interest in art, my interest has probably outweighed my talent, if I'm honest. But then my interest has driven me to be better and make me feel better and to make me do better and to look for different mediums and different styles and that. I'm not art trained in any way. I didn't leave school with any GCSEs. In fact, I couldn't get my head around school, I couldn't concentrate at school, so school was kind of a total loss to me. But I've muggled my way through life. I mean, I'm 51 now. I've never been out. I've never been unemployed. I've never been out of work for any length of time. I've been self-employed for 17 years, so I've managed to find my own work, which is a lot more than a lot of people can do. I've got good drive and good work ethic, but I have to say, in the last few months, for whatever reason, I feel done with my day job. The trouble is the day job pays for me to be my artist self. Without that, I could not be an artist. I couldn't frequent this lovely studio. I couldn't paint the big paintings I paint because I just wouldn't have the space. And this is the reality of most artists out there. I mean, YouTube will tell you how to do this and how to do that and be a great success. But the realism about the art world is it's like footballers. It's like the 1% which really make a living out of it. I mean, a decent living out of it. And they're usually the artists with a great signature, something which is noticeable, and you straight away go to them, like Banksy or Styx or even Dan Kitchen, a local guy to us here. They've got their distinct style, so the minute you see them, there they are. The rest of us try and work on getting that style. And there's so many people in this world, so many people painting, drawing, creating. The only way you can stand out is to create a world, a style, talk about yourself, tell people about your life experiences and put it through art. That's what most people are interested in one way or the other, or it's got a unique style or a unique message, or it's funny. They're kind of the ways that you get through. And I'd have to say, I haven't found that yet. I mean, I'm okay. you know, we all Instagram hoppers, and we all judge. You know, you paint and then 10 other painters come up on Instagram technically better than yours, and you're like, oh. One thing I do realise is I really enjoy the process. I absolutely die for the process. That figuring it out as I'm going along, that's definitely, I mean, I have a mechanical brain. I can't read books as such or pages of text and relate that to sort of building a cabinet, but if you give me images of that cabinet or even the pieces in front of me, I'll figure out how to do that. And I suppose that's why I'm so in tune with painting, because every mark's a question, as I've said in my life, and every point or every mark that you place, you look at it, does it work, is it right, is it wrong, or will it work? You know, and it is a bit like chess in a way. The marks that you make now, you have to think 5 steps later to see if that will work with them, or maybe not. But that's how my head works. That's what I love. I absolutely love the process. I have 3 big images for the upcoming Leigh Art Trail, and I realised that I've been invested more in creating them than the finish. And now that they're finished, they are good, but I've totally lost interest in them. I just feel that they look exactly the same as I've brought out before. It's nothing too exciting, it's nothing new. I mean, I try and create portraiture which is a little bit off balance, so, you know, my girls have blue faces, or the proportions would be wrong, or something, but yeah, I don't know what's happening with my head at the moment. I love go to work and all I'm doing is thinking about art, and I do a good job. I believe I do a good job at work. I work hard at work. I come back, and then if I'm not zapped, then I'll get back on the canvas. But my day job, being quite physical, kills me a lot of evenings. So then I become like a couch zombie, which I'm not very proud of. Yeah, I have a voice in my head, as we all do, and it constantly talks to me. When I'm at work, it's talking to me. It's telling me what it likes about the job, what it hates about the job, what it hates about my day, what I've got coming up. And I have to say, that voice sort of disappears as I get into painting again. It's not the same voice anyway. It's kind of quieter, if that makes sense. And I don't know if that's part of it. It's calming the noise. I mean, I don't paint in silence. I usually have music on in the background of the TV. So it can't solely be that, but it's an interesting thing that when I get back into paint, then, you know, I kind of lose all that surrounds me. But I have a constant struggle in my head with being happy, having my stage face, I suppose. I mean, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love what I do for the community. I love being part of it. They're my friends. I love watching them grow. When their paintings come out and they've sort of evolved a bit, then it's noticeable when you feel a little bit part of their journey. And I love all that. I love when I see somebody that you've seen local suddenly got a pop-up show in London or anywhere else in the UK, or they're excited because they're doing this and that. I love that. You feel kind of part of their journey in a way. All that community spirit that goes with it is absolutely incredible. But if you're thinking that, and just pick up a paintbrush and then you're going to be making 6 figures within a couple of years, unless you're exceptionally lucky, you've got an incredible marketing team, or you've got a voice which stands out, or a story that gets you viral, then there is a lot of pain in painting, because it's a question of putting all of your intensity into this one idea, or living, or it's not living, neuron which is firing, and then the next thing you know, it's out and it's on canvas, and hopefully it looks like your idea, and you've put in all this emotional investment to it, and then sadly you're at the mercy if you put them up on social media, and then you're judged by the rate of likes or clicks or comments on them, and then that can be the most disheartening thing in the world. Never mind selling a painting. I mean, I'm blessed with the fact that I sell occasionally. I don't expect it though, that's the thing. I don't, I put on a show, I don't expect to sell now. I just don't think the world is in a good place at the moment when it comes to frivolous money, and it's only the very rich that can throw money around to buy expensive paintings. The everyday man, I think they're just struggling to keep their lighting and heating on, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, I'm the same. I'm never born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I've worked hard. I've got very little to show from it. It's wrong decisions in life. That's what you do. I've been spend frivolous. I mean, I always think, where have I got no money? But then I look around and I've got an art studio full of art supplies, which I'm constantly buying. And maybe that's my problem. But yeah, I thought I'd just commit to video a little moment about my inner thoughts, because there's probably lots of people out there which feel exactly the same. And they may have a confidant, they may not. But if you're out there and you feel any depression or an unsatisfaction with your life, then you're not alone out there. I think it's the way that we're conditioned by society from an early age. You go to school, you must learn in a certain way. We will teach you these certain things. If you step outside the box, they put you back in line. And then you must leave school, you must get a job, you must buy a flat, you must pay the bills. I mean, we're all conditioned to it. We are in a civilized world anyway. That's what the best life is. And then everybody's trying to get the best car, or the nicest car, or the newest car, and paint their houses grey and have the big glass box on the back of the building. Don't get me wrong, I would love all the trimmings. I'm happy I paint. I'm happy I get my ideas out. And yeah, if you feel alone with the fact that you don't feel happy, but your art is your kind of go-to, then just stick with it, because I think with art brings, it's sad to say, but with art brings hope. Well, it's not sad, but it's truthful, because again, if you focus on the positive with art, you have an idea, you might take a reference from another picture, and then you adapt it to make it your own, and you shove it out there. If you get that one person like it, that's a little bit of validation for you. If you get that one person comment on it, again, that's more validation for you. If you get a friend or a neighbour genuinely tell you they like it, this is all nourishment for the soul. This is all positivity to drive you on until your next one. And that's what art can do. I see art as a tree trunk, basically. That's my tree trunk, the word art. And I'm sitting in that tree trunk. And then every time I paint, every time I do something along the lines of creation, then that's a branch or a leaf. And then branches are going off in different ways. And then it only takes one of those to resonate with somebody out there that you've never met before. and then that can take you in new directions that you'd never even considered. And that's the hope that art brings, I think. Yeah, I would say that's the hope that art brings. And if you create and you're creating for yourself, you know, not just wholly to sell, then I think you'll understand the same feeling. So as I mentioned before, I'm 51 now. I've had some pretty telling jobs in my life. I was a soldier for 4 years, but you wouldn't know. I was in the background, don't really say much, do my job kind of guy. With my 40th birthday came a wave of confidence, and a change in my yearning, I think, where I was just a very, very shy kid. Then suddenly this area of flamboyance came out where, with a lot of nerves and a lot of hours, now I can confidently stand up in front of a group of people and mainly get out the words that I wish to. I still make mistakes, and I still put words in that sound like they should be there, but don't mean what I think they do. That's a common trait of mine, and also detail. Oh, my brain cannot recall detail quickly. But yeah, that shy little lad for 40 years can now do that. But it's been steps. It's literally, I opened my studio, the little known studio, and then started to put on shows, and then had a little bit of confidence from that. People asked me to start teaching them art. Then I was doing one-to-ones, then from that class. And then when I did my first event and I had to talk in front of everybody, I literally asked every other member of the cast if they'd like to do the intro before I even considered doing it myself. But now I realise I've got the loudest voice in the room, so then it's up to me to use it. Yeah, I definitely have a stage face and I definitely have a quiet face. And before I run an event, there is some kind of weird limbering that goes on to convert Andy Downs, the artist, the quiet artist, let's say, to Andy Downs, the host. And it does take a few minutes and probably a cup of coffee to help make the transition. My head's in a good place. I would say if you feel down, always pull out a paintbrush or a pencil and just draw what's around you, draw your surroundings, get a sketchbook. It doesn't matter if it's good or not. I mean, it doesn't. And in fact, the golden nuggets of creation are the fact that you're different from everybody else. So whatever you produce, if you've got your style, the way that you finish a line, you know, the pencils you use, whatever, that's what makes you you. You don't want to be anybody else, and you don't want to draw and paint like anybody else, that's for sure. You want to be individual. There's no point being like everybody else. That's not what makes you interesting. What makes you interesting is being yourself, and telling the story about either your life experiences or the way that you see the world. That's what makes you interesting. My girls that I paint, they are reflective of me, I suppose, in a way. Slightly rebellious, slightly raw, colourful. So I suppose in a way they're all slices of me, and for that fact I love it. But the art community is a great community, and if you are struggling with your mental health in any way, then don't be don't be sad or don't be scared, should I say, not to speak to anybody, because everyone will listen. Everyone will listen to you if they've got half an ounce of human nurture in them. That's the wonderful thing about the art community. We're just people creating, and occasionally they sell, and then occasionally somebody gets lucky and steps above the parapet and makes a lot of money from it. But yeah, that's my my ramblings for this video. So I hope you enjoyed it. As I say, for me, to get on camera, it is the therapy, because I can just sit here and ramble now. I mean, something like this would have probably taken me 100 takes 5 years ago, but now I'm becoming more comfortable and I can just ramble in front of the camera. So hopefully it's not made you depressed. It's just not the idea. It's just so you can see that there's somebody else out there who has all these inner thoughts, way inner thoughts about not being good enough and not doing the right thing, blah, blah, blah. Just be yourself and tell your own story, and just get it out and get it on canvas. We all create in one way or another. Be that person that just tells their own story, and enjoy the process more than anything else, because as I say, that's what I get from it, the process more than finishing. Thanks for watching, and maybe see you on another one.